Alright, here we are. So, we gotta finish the aviary section, and then I want to start working more over towards this direction of the park. There should be parking lot, panda store, parking lot, theater. So there should be like another parking lot here. And like a gift shop. Should probably just go like right here. Let's just clip it together and then we'll move the staff building out later. Oops. Meant to be doing this. Is there actually any orange demand at all? Guess not. No, I can see it down there now, finally, when it goes white. Okay. Also... Okay, nothing currently being worked on. Where did we leave off on power? Maybe I'll run power lines back here, just kind of as a way to connect this up. We can put a little power station out front and then do the little repeaters off of that. Hey Gabs, welcome to the stream. I'm doing well. Your English seems fine so far. I have no problem with that. Okay, so that powers all this. Let's get... Well, we should do a maintenance check. Okay, this is all in maintenance range. Okay, repeaters. Do we have these? We do. So I never really use these. So that is the limit there for repeater range. So I guess we just chuck it here in the woods. Kind of works. Oops. You're good? Excellent. Okay. Why don't we just maybe kill all these backup generators, that we can tell much more easily where we actually need to distribute this power. Because otherwise it's very hard to tell what is actually going on. We just gotta make sure we don't open gates, I guess. But that should be fine as long as we don't unpause. Okay, I guess that is actually the limit right there. That's kind of an awkward spot for one of these. Maybe I just put it like here. Not gonna really work. It's kind of gotta be here, which is a little weird. Guess we just roll with it. whole stretch is a little compressed and weird. It's not really something we can deal with that well. That's okay. Way. Sure, why not? Okay, so that gets us power all the way over there. We have a backup generator here. And we got this sector. Hey, Landon. Hey, Rugops. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, this park has been a lot of effort, Gabs. It's been a long time coming. This is like week 5 or something we're working on this park. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, I remember you saying repeater stations do kind of suck, and I can definitely see why. Okay, so I can sneak one in here, and then extend it further down that way. That seems okay, because otherwise this little pathway doesn't do anything. This like little strip is just kind of there. I put it here. Work. Okay, and that one there is already covered, so I don't have to extend anything this way yet. So that reaches. I can probably cross the gap if I get this one in here, I would guess. Not quite. So maybe I go over here. Somewhere. Yuck. I might want to just swing wide that way. Or come from below? Maybe I come from down here. Moved slightly at the last moment. I think it's probably fine. Slightly off the path, but it doesn't really matter. So that, then like here. That works for me, I suppose. Okay. So, we need one more baby ornithomimus. We were waiting on that. We need to get a Dimorphodon breeding area set up, right? So I've got 4 here. So I guess we just do something down here. I didn't even read that. I just had chance of losing money seems good. Oh god. It really embedded itself, huh? Fuck. All temporary. This doesn't have to look like anything. We just gotta have it up here long enough to get breeding done. That's way too many jobs. Okay, you have way less. Legally speaking, if you wanted to recreate the Scorpios Rex to your own game while being legally distinct, what alterations could you make? I guess it depends exactly what details you want to preserve. Like, are you looking for a pug-faced, like, poisonous dinosaur? Is that the goal? Do you want the spines? Like, it's potentially a lot you could change and still have it be pretty similar. Just make this not disgusting immediately. Even though it's going to be pretty gross, generally speaking. Alright, we need nests. Alright, Oviraptor. $85%. Okay. Well, might as well start a video. OBS is dying. Pug-face semi-arboreal venomous hybrid. Change the method of venom delivery. Don't do spines, do like something else. Welcome back to the Smithsonian Park build. We are finishing up Oviraptor for our cassowaries. And we'll thread in a little bit of extra fossil just to clear them out here. In the meantime, our next animal is probably... Give me a second. Przewalski's horse? Something like that? Where my list? Here it is. Let's find out how it's spelled. It is Przewalksi or Ski, probably. I probably also misspelled it. Well, Przewalski? Sure. So these are going to be, I'm thinking, Iguanodon? Because we can do the Dominion variant with like a brown skin for another quadrupedal ornithopod that gives vague horse energy. And there are 2 of these, and they have their own little pen just kind of across and slightly down the path from the elephant enclosure. So let's get that going. I could hold you back and just like use you since you're kind of closer to needing to rest. We put in the repeaters for the new power network, so that is good to go. We got a new aviary going in with, which will be our breeding aviary. We can go ahead and just show that. That's just over here. We're just going to breed Dimorphodons for hatchlings, and then put the hatchlings in the proper aviary, so we only have a single dome, and they can actually breed. Because this just isn't big enough to even put a nest in, because the game is like that. Contract complete amenities.
You're
Okay,
turning out to be
sure.
someone that I can truly
Oh yeah, and this
rely
is
on.
now
And my
powered
trust
on.
is not something that many have managed to earn.
Thank you, person that I definitely remember is in the game. Sushi? This is a... That works, like I don't know what the Panda Cafe actually serves in the park. That's what this is. So sushi does kind of fit the Asian vibe, at least, I guess. In terms of, like, game mechanics, it's kind of what it wants me to be, so... I'm gonna just say that that's good to go.
Understood. No problem.
Alright, all 4 adults being lifted over.
Confirmed.
Yes, I did see the new news about Muttaburrasaurus. What was traditionally thought to be the nasal bones, like the bulbous part of the head of the Muttaburrasaurus, traditionally thought to be nasal bones, turns out to not be nasal bones. The skull actually extends forward further in front of that bump, and they have a little tiny pinched beak mouth in front of that. So they got a very triangular head that shrinks down a lot in the front.
Asset delivery.
So a little longer than traditional depictions of Muttaburrasaurus and much more narrow in the front. Very, very interesting. The depiction of Muttaburrasaurus in the paper, like this very like naked chicken skin colored Muttaburrasaurus, is maybe a little unfortunate for making it not look awful. I've seen a few other renditions of the Mutta that look a little bit better.
Asset transportation underway.
Bigger than... Okay, I never heard the bigger size thing.
Confirming asset delivery.
That is news. I'm not complaining China and Japan. I just mean the generic Asian vibes of, like, bamboo and stuff. It's not the intent to conflate. Also, it's the Asia Trail, right? It's not the China Trail. I mean, yes, it's the Panda Cafe, but...
Asset has been transported. Assets in the air. Asset delivery confirmed.
We are pleased to welcome a Dimorphodon to the park.
Objective feels like a pretty formal word, but I think we should try and get this done.
Oh yeah, how's our rating coming along here? We need a lot more dinosaur appeal. I guess is also partially at least the lack of hotel capacity, probably. Okay, so we gotta figure out. I think there were 2 cassowaries in the park, if I remember correctly. Yes, yes, Irwin and what's his face. All the Muttas not using this are not fully grown. Interesting. That's if it's that large, that's kind of surprising because the large sizes usually associated with like iguanodontians and hadrosaurs specifically. This study makes Muttaburrasaurus out to not even be an iguanodontian, more of a basal ornithopod, a diverging lineage, given that's got like teeth in the beak. So it being large is pretty interesting. So yeah, meet the animals. Nope, there's. I had the names. Irwin and Dundee. So, 2 males, I guess, is what they have. Just reading through the article about these 2. Or is it, I wonder, If this is specifically the only two in the park, that's what I'm not sure about. I think we're just going to go with the two because they're the two I know name-wise. Also, still a biped, which make it the largest obligate biped ever. Interesting. That would be kind of a crazy come from behind Muddinborough victory to just be like, surprise, this thing might be the biggest. So we could do like well, let's not even bother looking at the female. We could do like a dark base color. Why is it so dark? Why can I not see anything? What is with the lighting? What is happening right now? The lighting. It's like unusable. What was the joke? Seriously? Like that's as bright as it gets? Okay. It seems borderline unusable, but whatever. So yeah, we got like blue on black is probably what we want. Even a little bit of red in there. That feels cassowary-ish. But maybe I want more blue for the crest specifically. Like this could be an option. Why could I not see this for shit? Why is the lighting so fucked? This doesn't... This isn't just me, right? Alright, we're looking for two cassowary brothers. So we're going to do kind of this Svalbard for the base color, very dark. And then we need some blue highlights. So we could do something like this, which ends up with a very red crest, which isn't very cassowary. Or we can do something like this that gives it more of the blue specifically on top of the skull. The lighting feels like it's being a pain in my ass in here for some reason. I don't know why it's so goddamn dark. Like, this is the daytime filter. Like, that's all the brighter it gets. I don't know if I want the blue or if I want the red. Because, like, there's blue and red, but it's really blue on the head. So, like, the red crest really doesn't feel right. So I think I like this better. With the blue. I think we'll do two of these. Irwin and Dundee. Sure, I guess we'll just do that. And I'll put the other guy on break while that hatches. Papurana? Was that what I did, or did I do the other one? I did Pulkrana, RIP. You think this is better? I think the red is too much. It's not quite right. I wonder if these males are technically juvenile, though. It's still, yeah, like a full-grown one kind of gets a little more muted color into the crest. It's not just like blue. And the wattle is kind of evoked by the neck a little bit. I mean, it's kind of the same in both cases. I think I like the blue. See, here's my thought process, right? If we do this one, then at least there's like blue on the head that stands out, which captures the cassowary vibe a little bit more. Whereas this one ends up with too much red standing out, which isn't quite right. I don't know. I can't see them for shit in that hatchery anyway, so... If they don't look good when we hatch them, we can try the other ones. I could have went with a mix of both. We could hatch two of each and just kept which one looked better in-game. That would have been okay, maybe.
Synthesis procedure complete.
I did Calcorana. Did I even... Is that the right one? Oh no, there was Calcarana on the female. Yeah. Okay, social humble quenched. Social humble docile. Sure, we'll take these two. Yeah, it's like the game is poorly balanced or something, huh? It's like there's no logic whatsoever in the stats on the animals and the economy.
Asset transportation underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Dimorphodon to the park.
Oh yeah, forgot about these guys. They're missing Arid.
Asset delivered.
Right as they start bashing shit.
Procedure complete. Incubation person.
Heading to collect the asset.
We'll need a meat feeder, right? It's required.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an Oviraptor
Transit
to
has
the park.
commenced.
Where is the ranger station's there?
We are pleased to welcome an Oviraptor.
The Oviraptor got its name from the hypothesis that it survived by stealing and eating eggs from other dinosaurs. It's not a feeding habit that will win you many friends, but it is another amazing example of how species rely on one another in surprising ways.
Alright, I think I'm happy with the choice looking at it in game. Pretty nice blue on the head that makes... You know, it's not the full neck and head being blue, but it is a nice bit of blue that stands out. So I think that works for me. Erwin... They need a surprising amount of ground leaf, too, here. Hopefully they find enough as the territory expands. Especially with the second one coming in. Because if it doesn't work, I might have to get more creative. Oh, no, they're good. They're both good. And this is Dundee. Erwin and Dundee, the Cassowary brothers. And I assume our Ornitho friends are going to be fine with these as well. Alright, cool. Luis is always on thin ice. I don't know why the dialogue is so consistently bad in JWE games. I still can't get over some of the voice lines from 2, like Brachiosaurus being one of the few warm-blooded dinosaurs. That one drives me up a fucking wall. That one just makes me furious. The fact that somebody wrote that down and had a recording session and then put it in the fucking game. It's like, what are we, in the fucking 80s here? Alright, let's get expedition going. For Iggy. Alright, Iguanodon. 1 Iguanodon expedition. We need another parking lot. So, this thing. This one will go, like, over here. Maybe I actually, like, want to connect the roads in some way. Loki feels like your raptors might be a couple instead of stealing eggs. They're given chicken eggs to sit on. They are brothers. About like that orientation wise. But then if I put it like here and then try to trim the road down, it really should be closer. It should be how do these roads actually connect up in real life? Let's look at the satellite view. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, wait. Okay, there's a parking lot here. Yeah, it continues along the road from the other one, essentially. So I guess it should be kind of like this. Then there's another parking lot kind of on the other side. And that's kind of where the horses are? Yeah. So if we do one like this. And then we can put the horses interior of it. You don't think oviraptors have a concept of incest? I mean... Whoops. Also, this is maintenance. That's got 4. That's got 3. Now, do I want to try moving this one further down? Where the fuck is this theater? The theater is right in front of it. I think I could move it further over. I think it's kind of at the limit though, isn't it? Yeah, because this is like right there. So that'll get me all the way down to the corner. That's about fine. Oh, that should be this one. Might as well leave those other trees there. That looks fine. That seems like that's sufficiently lined up. Would I rather get jumped by 5 velociraptors, try stealing an egg from a nesting colony of angry oviraptor fathers? That's a fair question. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I move this further down so that I can actually do this. So let's see. Kill this. Um, why would you do that? Okay, then we do this guy. Way too far down. So we gotta go like here. I could make this more of a cliff, I suppose. Sure, why not? I don't have to make it really that much of a cliff. I can just make it a steeper hillside. That's actually kind of fine. Why does it... I guess because that's lower? Yeah, I guess the whole thing is kind of vaguely raised like that. Sure. Okay. And then maybe we'll do something sometime about connecting these two roads up. Park does not abide by OSHA standards. I mean, perhaps not. Right there. So we got a little corner. Try and meet. Okay. It's getting there. I don't know why it sounds like spray paint. I guess because it's like, maybe it is actually meant to be paint strips. Yeah, road markings. I guess that's why it sounds like you're painting when it puts them down. Get us in trouble with the DMV? They don't have to know. It's fine. Nobody has to tell them. Um... Good enough. Just don't look that closely at it and it looks fine. It's just razor sharp turn. No chill. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That's about all the effort I really want to put into a parking lot anyway. There. Staff center's got to be moved somewhere else still, but I haven't really completely decided. Probably down here where there's like different buildings. We could put it in for like the mammal house or something weird. Hey Mutasaurus, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the road's coming together all right. Kind of looks like something. Okay. So, now it's the horse exhibit. So they got like a little shack and like a little sunroof thing. Okay, this isn't just like the dead of fucking night. What a worthless shots. The fuck? I'm just trying to look at street view of the zoo and it just gives me like Christmas lights in pitch black darkness. So I can't even see the pen. So there's like a little rock outcropping. We can try to recreate that. And then there's kind of some different little houses. Like a little barn in the back maybe. And then like a little shade thing. Did the new Mudder really mess with your idea for a dinosaur game? Weren't ready to accommodate for the change? Okay, so I guess I kind of just put in... It's kind of just like a square pen. Yeah, that doesn't really show me the size properly. Now, I might want to have it more down here. Like, right towards the... It should be, like, right at the bend. Really. Let me check some more satellite shots. Common, not super dangerous, mid-sized herbivore. Now it's a kaiju. Yeah. The world do be like that sometimes. Actually, kind of more of a triangular pen. It should be here, specifically. Like triangular against the road in this corner. So I think what we should do... Probably make some adjustments here. Just double the length of this parking lot. This one does look pretty long. But then we kind of need to move this other one further down. Just gonna pave over this whole hole in the ground. Well, because they're doing a modded park at some point. I mean, this park is technically modded. I have economic changes enabled. We're playing on like 90% income tax or something silly. Not that you can tell. It literally doesn't feel any different or any more difficult. But yeah, I probably will crack the seal on like actual content mods at some point. Right now, I'm not super interested because it's still early days of the game, and like theoretically, you know, we get a new update every month and mods might not work after that, but we could still do something with it. So this parking lot. This parking lot does kind of start next to the other one, actually. Like, kind of across the road from it. These parking lots are not tight to the road. Just the compromise is kind of me not bothering with separating them out as much. So I think what we'll do, let's move it down like this far, maybe. Why is that offset now? Why you gotta be crooked? Fuck. No, it already is crooked. Wait. Maybe that's good, maybe it's not. Who really knows? It's kind of not. I hate that this is always in the center. I wish this was like wherever you're looking. Because it's like impossible to fucking align this shit. I guess you can do this. It'd still be way more convenient if this cursor actually put itself in like a useful spot. Also, that looks good on the lines and then bad on the white lines. Like, what is that about? How is that? How is the center aligned if the edges is not? That is my question. Rotational issue? Weird. Very weird. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's impossible to do at this angle. Baby. Okay, wait, what if we do that and then we realign? No, it's just as bad as it ever was. What the actual fuck happened? How is this? How does this not line up? What if I do this? Is this gonna be the grossest thing ever? Shit. Just slowly realign it, bit by bit. The fuck? Listen, the guy got slightly drunk when he painted the road lines. It's fine. he was just a little tipsy. You don't really notice it that much from out here, and legitimately I've seen road lines that were pretty goddamn botched, so maybe it's fine. Alright. So it's kind of like a wedge. Coming off of this corner. Something like that. Yeah, a gap makes sense there. And then with this part where it tilts inward, it should end before the other path. So this should extend slightly less far. It should be like here. Something like that. Okay. Alright, so this is the basic layout for the Przewalski whatever horse enclosure, the iguanodon pen. Basically got some parking lots back here, kind of an extended one that goes here, then one that's further over this way. These should be kind of off of the road, but in the interest of the park not taking a billion hours playing with roads, we've just kind of left them all connected up using the same one we've been using. And the horse enclosure is kind of this wedge-shaped thing that comes right over here, between like the road back here and the park itself here, coming just off of this little gap that heads to the back part here with the elephants. So we don't have visibility currently. That's probably going to be fine. I'll put like a hotel here maybe, because there's like a mammal house that we're not going to do anything with. Let's just do that. Let's just make the mammal house, quote unquote, a hotel. Because the hotel has mammals in it, right? Really, what is a hotel but a mammal house? I think that makes sense. I've convinced myself. We only have small, so I guess we'll just go with a small Jurassic Park one for the vibes. Do we use a JP one up here when we put in a hotel? I mean, this hotel is not necessarily staying, but we do need hotels in the park just for functionality. I mean, there's nothing in the park that really quite looks like this, though. Maybe we do a more traditional hotel. Actually, can I find out what the mammal house looks like? Maybe that's the thing to do. It's kind of a square building with like a bunch of glass windows in the top. Honestly, a little bit of Texarkana vibes, vaguely. Maybe. Ooh, maybe this. This looks good. In terms of like the kind of brown roof. I think we'll just go with this. I think this is close enough for vibes that this can be our small mammal house, aka a hotel. Now, this enclosure could use our critter house for the mammal house. Well, let's take a look. To the workshop we go. Let's see. How do I get to stuff? Favorites. Here. And we go here. And we go here. Why does it take so many buttons? Small critter house. Oh wait. I can understand words. Yeah, I don't have you. Okay, there's actually not that many critters. I crossed some mental wires and was looking at the wrong stuff. Is your game name Muto in here? Yes. It's an activity center. I guess we'll do a favorite here, and then we can install it. Yeah, it's not your profile. I had some mental wires get crossed. That was an activity center. You're saying it wasn't your profile earlier, right? Not that last one I actually grabbed? It doesn't show up there. Where do I even find... Is it, Because this is just decorative blueprints. How do you get to all blueprints? Ah, here. We could, like, merge it. We could do, like, both. Because the hotel gives us visibility. It's the Minion Iguanodon. The Dominion one's smaller, right? It doesn't really live up to the other one. Like, we could put this in, like, over here, kind of. And then we still can keep the hotel for the other vibe, maybe. I'm still clipping over the fence. No. Just trying not to clip the fence too much, but still keep it tight there. Yeah, it's still large, but it still gets horse vibes, so that's fine. That might work. Maybe I should just make this like hill out of rock. I don't know. I might be able to do something like this decently. Burling's will have no space to move. Yeah, we'll have to see if it's gonna work for two of them. So we got a little hill, and then we should have a little shelter thing in here. So maybe we just grab one of these, grab a duplicate, and move it over in here. This kind of goes like in front of this kind of like raised area, like here. Something like that, roughly. It just seems to be like a sunshade maybe, so maybe it shouldn't have this little toy thing hanging off here, maybe. And then some sort of other structure is needed, like some sort of barn, basically. Have we used this? Ornithomimus stable in the park. This might be perfect. I don't think I used this anywhere. Yeah, let's use this. What's the parking lot for? There's parking lots there in real life. Since it's based off a real-life park, we're trying to kind of emulate the distribution of the parking lots a little bit. So yeah, kind of over here, there's just kind of this structure, basically. So we'll give them a little shelter right there, and then we've got like our either the hotel or the activity center or the combination of the two gives this the mammal house vibe. This is Mutasaurus's animal house, by the way. You can look that up on the workshop. And then some water in here somewhere. There's like a big tree in the middle too, maybe. And then I don't know about water. It's hard to tell, like, the exact layout of this place. Maybe I just put a little bit of water in, like, out here somewhere. Yeah, then we do We do this, we grab the root-riddled dirt, and we give it the nice kind of trampled vibe. But not the middle part with the rock, or that looks weird. So let's go back to that. We need to break up how conical that hill looks. So we gotta do a little bit of this. It looks a little weird. A little hard to tell exactly how this hill looks, kind of tucked in the corner here. But this is fine. It makes the exhibit look a little bit like something. I'm okay with it, I think. Now, the question is going to be, of course, will the iguanodons accept this enclosure or not? Why don't we put, like, the ranger station, like, right over here by the building? How about here, like, right in front? Sure. Alright. We had a Dimorphodon notice. Do we have eggs? Sea animal claiming nest. 4 eggs. Okay, we got a bunch of eggs coming. So both sets of bread. This is great. Movement in nest. Alright, some little feathery Dimorphodons. So yeah, I want these guys not just because they're smaller and more bird-like in that sense, but also because this is the only way you get a feathered Dimorphodon in this game is to have the juveniles. Which is a choice. I really don't like the idea that they lose their feathers as they mature in the franchise. That's, as far as I know, there's actually no support for that interpretation of the Dominion Dimorphodon, but I guess it's not technically wrong either. 5, 7, 8, and 6. If they are not humble social, I guess we'll just get rid of them. Another 3 eggs coming. Mudabura's not quadrupedal. That's why I want to use the Iguanodon. Plus, we never use the Dominion Iguanodon, so it's a good chance for us to use it. Expedition's still ongoing here. And then, do we do anything in front of this parking lot here? No, not really. Yeah, there's just some, like, trees. And there should be kind of like a path probably connecting to it, like here or something, maybe. But I don't know how we should connect this one up, given that it's just kind of across the road. Like, I can't actually tell what this parking lot is supposed to do. In terms of, like, there's a crosswalk way at the end, and there's one there. Crosses over to, like, the other parking lot or something. I'm just gonna ignore it. We're just gonna leave it. It should really be extended down even further anyway. So... further back this way and stuff. We might add some more animals to the aviary. We might not. I might not bother. I should have checked and made sure they were humble social, humble social, humble social. Okay, they're all good. Let's get that finished up, get that nest out of there.
For your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park.
Asset has been transported.
Got to do something with this spot too. This should basically be probably just forested.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a dimorphodon to the park.
Transportation complete. Asset has been collected.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a dimorphodon to the park.
Asset transported.
Okay. Yeah, we could try Caillou. 2 small hotels is fine for a 4-star park, you guys. Yep, that's what it looks like. It looks like it's pretty lax. Nine, 10, and 11. Okay. Caillou's green. Do we have Caillou like to be dug up already? No. Yes, it's a separate dig site. We could do like green and red. That would be like various parrot vibes, maybe. Alright, Iguanodon fossils. 56% with a little bit of seasoning. Sure. Actually, no, that's fine. We'll do that. Because it's probably going to be... Well, it might be 2 trips yet. Yeah, because Iguanodon is still there. So, let's go grab the Belgium shit. And then double back for the other one. Second batch of Dimorphodons is being moved over. We also have... Oh, did these hatch already? Yeah, okay. The other batch of Ornithomimosaurs hatched. So, we're supposed to have, I think... How many babies? 4? I think 4 babies? We're missing 1. I remember that. So, if we do... Age 4... Age 4... Age 0. So 7, 8, 9. So we got to get rid of 1 of the... Or 2 of the new 3. Keeping 1. Resilient, humble, social. Resilient, humble, docile. Social. Resilient, humble, social. So 7 and 9 go away. And then we can clear the nest as well now. Give them a little bit more environmental space that way. Alright, and that's our Rheas and our cassowaries for the external part of the aviary done. Once we get rid of the 2 extra ones. And is that a storm rolling in? No, disease? Oh, rabies. Well, I mean, that is a problem. Let's not have that be a thing. Okay. Rewild 7. Rewild 9. And then we got 3 more Dimorphodons here to move. Multi-select 2 and 3. Finalize selection and transfer. 1, 2, 3. Alright. We can look at our bird selection once they're all in here and flying in their proper little mini aviary. I guess I can leave the adults in here for now. I can always get more Dimorphodons and transfer them from the breeding facility. 56 and 23. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to take 2 more digs, maybe. If Belgium is still active, it is. That is annoying. Okay, well, there it goes.
Delivery has been completed. Asset has been transported.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Dimorphodon to the park.
Okay, they must say that when they transfer, even though it's not a new Dimorphodon.
Transportation complete.
Why are they so dusty? How is this bug still in here?
Has been delivered.
He literally looks like he's smoking. Question, is my Oviraptor on fire right now?
To the park.
I think his tail is literally lit on fire, because that is the only explanation for what I am seeing right here. This is wild. He's leaving just a smoke trail behind him. What the fuck? It's very funny. You can just tell where he is because of the cloud that he leaves in his wake. He's actually gas-powered. That's why this has happened. Okay. Yeah. It's actually a bad storm, it looks like. Let's sedate our sloth bears. Okay, so shelter coverage is probably bad by now, right? Yeah, maybe I'll sneak one in like here. Okay, 92%. What the fuck? Why is view mode data unavailable? What the fuck does that mean? Does it do that because there's a fence gap? Like, that's weird. Yeah, it won't show me a bunch of the view modes because an animal's escaped? How odd. How very strange. I knew they were going to make the run immediately. Yeah, what a weird, like, choice to, like, remove some of the visibility markers just when that happens. Very strange.
Asset transportation in progress. Asset being transported. Asset has been transported. Transit.
Excuse me, who the fuck is this? I actually had a Troodon escape?
Is commenced.
Where the fuck is my other Troodon? Oh, over there. Dude, he's on a runner. What the fuck?
Asset transportation complete.
I didn't even notice they got out.
Confirming asset delivery.
That was a pretty shit storm. That was triple breached enclosures, 2 of which actually had almost full escapes.
Asset requiring collection. Heading to pick up the asset. Deliver.
Okay, one small outbreak later, Herrerasaurus and Troodon both escaped. Thankfully, nobody killed each other, so that's something. You know what? Probably can wait. That's probably going to be one batch left between both dig sites, so let's get that going. Put in a shelter over here just because we kind of need shelters.
Been collected.
So might as well get it in. We need shelter over here. Bathroom over here and here. So for some of these... Thank you for the dramatic sound. Herreras are fighting for dominance. For some of these shelters and bathrooms, small buildings, I'm not really going to be too particular about exactly where they should go. We'll just kind of slot them in. The aviary area does kind of have some other structures scattered around a little bit. So we could try to, like, make use of that. So there's some stuff, like, over here. So maybe that's the best way to do it. Put down a shelter over here to kind of simulate briefly one of the other buildings. And we can do the same with, like, the bathroom. Let's just put it, like, here. I mean, the bathroom should be, like, inside the main compound.
Our
Probably.
restroom is now open.
It's
to
fine.
use for
It
whenever
works.
they
Has been
call.
delivered.
And then a bathroom over here. So this little elephant trail thing back here, I'm looking at the satellite photos right now. There's kind of some, like, twists and turns and other stuff going on in there, in the trees. It's really hard to tell, like, what it is on the satellite maps, because it's not, like, the main walkway. Might even be, like, backlot type stuff. So maybe I just, like, toss a bathroom down here, like, at the end of the path. Or maybe just, like, slightly off of it, like, in the trees here. Sure. Because, like, definitely hard to tell visually what's going on with some of this. I think just sneaking a shelter and a bathroom in there is fine. Okay, we should have enough stuff here to look at the iguanodons while this also goes off. No? There it is. I forget what it looks like. So the horses, we have 2. Let me find their info. Sign from God to swap the Troodon with the Guanlong. We'll see. Przewalski's horse. It's a very light brown horse. Okay, they're light brown. We've got 2 of them, Olga and Dolores, Dhalores. Once thought to be ancestor to the domestic horse, they're actually distant cousins, diverged 500,000 years ago. So we're looking for a nice light brown female, probably, honestly, a blank. That's probably just about it. Honestly, the Dominion one wouldn't be bad if it was actually kind of stripy. But the horse does seem to be rather just brown. It's just a brown horse, man. Very light brown. I think we'll just do this. They're gonna be a little lackluster, but it's a generic wild horse. Like, really, you can't get Max Humble Social on Iguanodon? Why they always got to do my boy like this? Why does he always have like the worst genetic spread? Oh yeah, because we don't have it the DNA done. Just kidding. I rescind my comments. It's just my fault. It's not Iguanodon's fault or JWE3's fault. It's just me. Okay, everybody is awake. We should get like some info boards maybe. These are all attractions. I think Primal Gamer has some on his account. Favorites. We go to Primal. We go to Creator Profile. We go to View Creations. We go to here. We have Pterosaur Information Sign, Myosora, Hell Creek. Yeah, I need like a generic. Let's do workshop. Browse. Okay, first off, maybe we could just find like an Iguanodon. How is there this many things for Iguanodon? Herbivore signs. Oh, because Iguanodon Inn is going to have a few. Yeah. That works for me. I like that one actually has info. This one's just a little generic. This probably should be like placards for every animal, kind of maybe. Honestly, placing this letter by letter, this is like crazy meticulous. You could tell it's hand placed too because the spacing is inconsistent. Like especially that bottom row is squeezed in there, but this is still like crazy with how meticulous this is. Also crazy, the Iguanodon was alive for 104 million years. It outlasted the extinction of the dinosaurs. They lasted until 22 million years ago. God damn. No, I know what he means. I'm just poking fun. All right. The famous Cenozoic Iguanodon. Indeed. I imagine there's not going to be many signs that put that much info on him. That one's pretty impressive. Yeah, a lot of these are just going to be the name. Wait, there was one that had some info. Am I blind? Thought it was on page 1. Wait, what the fuck? Ah, yes, it was small. You had to zoom in. much will we find for Africa? Because I could skip putting like discrete signs in for the is that a copy of my park in the workshop there? There shouldn't be. What did you see? This was under when we were looking at the other thing, or what? Just seeing if there's any, hello, storm. I was not expecting lightning tonight, jeez. Dinosaurs of Africa sign? We could do that. Well, they're not dinosaurs of Africa, though. It's the Africa Trail, but the dinosaurs are not African. Look like an exact copy of my wetlands park under a Margosaurus. Okay, okay. Let's go back. Let's see if somebody stole my shit. I didn't notice, but it'll be really funny. What even visually is distinctive about my wetlands park? Which one do you think reminds you of my park? Also, what is going on in this habitat? The overhead view I did when I finish it off. You talking about like this one or something? First page center bottom. This one? Nah, this ain't nothing like mine. This is like an exhibit. Almost. That's very different. That's a lot of hatcheries. Yeah, not enough respect for my boy Chunkingosaurus. I could put this, I could try to mount that on like the wall, but I don't think it's gonna work. Maybe this one. Oh, it's multiple pieces. Oofda. Okay, we gotta do it like this. We gotta do, we gotta put it over here on the ground somewhere else. Hey, Primal Gamer, welcome to the stream. We put this like over here. And then we can highlight it and we can like manually move it. And get it in there. Like correctly. Also, this little arrow bit. Is this actually, this is just the sign? Inherently has this arrow? Is this true? It looks like it is true. I'm going to say the arrow doesn't really belong there, but maybe it's fine. Well, it's looking good. Don't we have like a default aviary sign? Is that like a thing? Banner, sign. I'm just thinking of some sort of sign to like, the aviary's down the bridge this way. I don't know what to actually put in. Thank you for the follow, Connor Kenway. Appreciate it. You're an Assassin's Creed fan. Could you possibly be the one Assassin's Creed fan that keeps coming back to the stream with a new name every week? All right. Aviary is going to find way too much. Just a little person named Cryo. What if I do this? Does this work? No. This is just everything with aviary and sign. Which is functionally 244 pages, which I believe is functionally the same as this. So like the syntax here, yeah, 244 pages, just doesn't give you anything for searching. Very, very annoying. So getting a proper aviary sign is going to be like impossible to find. 83 goddamn pages. I mean, that's pretty good. Okay, so we do this. Then we do this. We take you and we put you like over here, essentially. Sure. Yeah. Is this game on PlayStation or just PC? This is on PS5, I believe, right? The current generation only, not the old one. I don't have any use for the rest of these signs right now, at least. Avian pox on site. One of you. Get in there and check on them, please. Okay, fossils are done. Should be it for Iguanodon. 2179, perfect. PS5 version sucks. Yeah, there's lots of problems with the PS5 version of this game, right? Or all console ones. Just saying hi, your buddy's having you and the other guys over for a visit, Primal. Alright, thanks for stopping by. You go have fun. I don't play Assassin's Creed games. I played the first one, I didn't like it very much. Do we think this is accessible, this little area here? Maybe I want to move this down just slightly. Like that far. Make sure that the Iguanodons can get back there for a little bit of extra territory space. Alright, we can keep putting in some signs, I suppose. Seriously, who is Cryo? If you aren't Cryo and you're not playing a game, Cryo is a recurring viewer who seems to get banned from Twitch under mysterious circumstances and make new accounts with new names. Every time he pretends it's his first time here. And it's certainly a game that he can play. Yeah, that is your stable. Yes, this is our horse barn.
We have detected power outages across the site. Available available personnel, please respond.
So my inherent suspicion is anytime somebody shows up on Twitch and does something like, say, brings up a game he brings up, I can only assume it is him. That it is yet again Cryo under a new disguise.
Power has now been restored across the site. Thank you for your...
Alright, 2 Przewalski's horses. I got you. You didn't get banned this time, you just changed your name. See, you give yourself away too easily. You just immediately bring up Assassin's Creed. But then there's always the weird possibility it's another person, and then I feel bad if it's not actually you and I just assume it's you. You woke up and had to log in. Yeah, just because an animal can't access there doesn't mean it doesn't include their territory. That's true. Yeah, if the tree actually does block it from moving, it'll still probably expand its territory into it, and that's all that actually matters. It'd be kind of funny to try to make, like, the most ethically dubious zoo where the animals have, like, a tiny square, but because of the way the territory system works with natural terrain, they still have a large territory, so they're actually comfortable, even though they have, like, the space of a dog kennel. Yeah, I knew it was you right away, dude. I fucking called it out. I called that shit out immediately. Alright, yeah, Iguanodon, light brown, no patterns. We already saw that. I did put the extra pip of social in there. We could start digging up Kayuajara. We could try having some baby Kais to go with the Dimorphodons for more birds in the aviary. I think I'm willing to take a crack at that for diversity's sake. Oh yeah, we never looked at the Dimorphodons. We should see what we ended up with for our 7 little guys. We've got number 5. I thought I paused you. Number 5 is not a very exotic looking bird. Not sure what's going on with the wing texture there, huh? That's a new one. What is that? Like a shadow glitch? It almost looks like water reflections on the wings being weird. I don't know. Number 6. That's a yellow one. That gets some tropical bird vibes vaguely. 7. Slightly pinkish, I guess. Number 8. We're not allowed to zoom in on number 8. He's shy. There we go. Little red one. Yeah, these are pretty bland overall. They don't really give much for tropical bird vibes or anything. We should get some Kais in here just to mix it up. Also, is it just me or do the wings look like extremely untextured? Like, getting really big plastic vibes here. And maybe the glitched shadows aren't helping that. Oh, is this because of, like, the feathering? Is that why the shadow gets so weird? I think so. Because it's trying to account for, like, the feathering in some way, but it just kind of gets glitchy. Number 11, little greenish one. Not even really that green. Okay, well, that's the adult, or the babies, so we'll see if we get more babies. I might just call that one good. What's our territory
One
look
of the
like?
easiest ways to stress an animal is to take away its food. Let's avoid that.
Why are they all
Keep 'em
starving?
fed.
Wait, what is going on with, is this one just stuck, maybe, actually? Because they're a fish eater. I think he's just sleeping too long. Get up! You're dying, idiot! Well, whatever. Geolopterus? Yeah. He needs to come back. Alright, few fossils. We'll get those processing on you. We'll go ahead and set another expedition real quick. On, sure, you for maximum speed. And let's go look at our selection of exotic horses. Skittish. You know what? Hold on. Horses, famously skittish. Famously skittish animals. I can only assume a genuine wild horse. Even more skittish. We're going to take specifically the skittish ones. We can take the humble tolerant just for shits and giggles, I guess. Alright, 2 horses. Right, like that. And then the generalist can go on a nice paid vacation. Looks like we might need maintenance down here. Yes. Isn't even a paid vacation anymore. We just sent him across the street to get a burrito or something. Alright, looks like 2 ambers finishes off that genome. And then, let's see if these guys are going to accept their little enclosure, or if I gotta work double time to make it work. We do have a little bit of space that we could, like, reclaim here. I can definitely, you know, extend this over closer to the parking lot, or move these buildings down and extend it that way. But I'm kind of hoping it just works.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an iguanodon to the
We just Todd Howard it, and it just works. Nice little high-effort iguanodon sign somebody made. There's kind of like a little, like a little, flaws is the wrong word. Like a little outbow or something with some signs and stuff here at this exhibit. I decided to just stick a sign here on the path side and call it a day. Okay, you need a bunch of wetland. That's going to really ruin the vibe. That's really going to just mess up the whole vibe I'm going for. You should have thought about this before you made me have to do this, because it's really ruining the aesthetic of the enclosure. I really wish you wouldn't. Oh, can I put it, like, under the building and still have it count? It's kind of weird. But, like, I don't know what's in that building. A building could be full of wetland. I don't know. I've never been inside the building. Then we need some ground fruit, too, which is also going to kind of make it a little awkward. That's just the one of them. It's going to be close. Going to be tight. Rabies. Rabies. It's always rabies. If it's not rabies, it's rabies. All right. Medical. Hopefully medical can get over there. God damn it. It sucked me all the way back across the park. Ugh. Get in there, medical. I'm going to trust you to pathfind all the way over there. Ranger team. You are going that way. Where's Ranger team 2? I need to get status info on the Chungs, which unfortunately I have to do manually. It just doesn't work. Wait. Wait, maybe he thinks he can do it.
I know some folks are uncomfortable with this, but allowing the animals to fight mirrors.
Okay, wait, it does work. Okay.
Ultimately, will benefit them in captivity.
So it's probably partially dependent on the exact pathfinding, how it works out. But they can get in there. All right, 81% on our horsies. So we have, let me get the names. This is Olga and Dolores. So Olga is easy enough. I Olga. No, stop. Olga and Dolores. Fuck, why does the I always stay? Dolores and Olga. Alright. A little bit more wetland, a little bit more plants. A little bit more water. Oh. So needy. You need so much stuff. Okay, water done. I guess we'll just have to give up on like the ground vibe, like the trampled vibe of things, because it's just not, we just don't have the space. So we're going to thicken this up here more, I guess, and then put in more wetland in the back. Because I have to. I'd also like to fit a tree in here, because there should be a tree in the front. Like a big tree. I can't tell what kind of tree, but maybe I just want to use the nice willow tree again. I think this was a pretty nice looking willow tree. Just put it like right here. Yeah. Alright. That'll do. They're a little yellower, maybe, than I thought they were going to be, but it's still pretty much a light brown. I think it's still perfectly fine. Okay, so Kayuajaras as, like, tropical birds, right? That's kind of the idea here. So, to that end, I'm thinking bright red and green. Blue is maybe okay, too. But maybe I just want to specifically control the colors as much as I can. To make sure, like, it gets the right vibe. Let's do that. Let's do Sonoran and Amazon specifically. Males and females. And then for the patterning, like, maybe we just go wild, I think. Because the patterning won't even matter anyway on the babies, actually. It's just the base color, so that's probably fine. We got to put in the traits. Save and exit. Begin task. 4, 4, and 3. And then, yeah. So next animal is something to think about. Now, this is the mammal house. The, down the road from the mammal house is a bunch more, like, other houses. There's, can I get the, yeah, small mammal house, great ape house, reptile discovery center. Which is kind of where, like, the path kind of, like, curves around the great ape house, which we're not going to do anything with.
Synthesis procedure complete.
That could be the hotel, maybe.
Stand by.
We can move the small mammal house, the critter house, up, move the hotel down, and then bend the path back around it for the reptile discovery center, which we are going to have some animals in there for that. That might be the way to do it. So it would, like, bow out and around like this, basically, like a big arc. I could also just kind of leave that there like it is. Let's see. Let's put this here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort,
We're going to put this over here.
It's on the to-do list.
And then we're going to move this up.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look behind the scenes and embark on a journey of discovery with our new lab tour.
Okay, and then we got to curve this around, which is going to be kind of weird. Yeah, reptile house, big cat, lemur area. Those are definitely some of the remaining things that we will have come in soon. So do I want to do this like this, maybe? It kind of bows out first. So it kind of goes... The path is kind of weird. if I do the small map, this works better. Yeah, let's do the small map. So I just do, maybe I do this. Okay. So the small map is maybe a little more abstracted. That's probably fine. Let's do... No, it's fine. Is it? Is that the end, actually? Let's do it a little differently. And the path, the road would be back there, so we do have space. Something's fucky with this path. I think it just was not... Yeah, it just was slightly offset. Okay. Then how do I replicate the thickness? Because it's not the full thickness. I could, like, thicken it up here just to make it easier on myself. Like, I could do this. Seems alright. And then, like, Lemur Island in here, and then, like, the reptile houses, which will be the irritator and the dimorphodon exhibits. Yeah, Lemur Island without fences is probably the way to kind of go with it. Okay. Sure. Only 2 eggs, so we might want to do 2 batches. Okay, we'll do a green male, red female. So at least we can get a mix of these two. We'll do you. Alright, so next animals to unlock. Let's see, we did piscivores already. And we already have Dimetrodon. So probably those two. We'll work on the reptiles next. So let's do Irritator first. And then, yeah, maybe we just cook up a second round. Might just leave these here. I kind of don't mind their placement. Well, let's get this moved out of there. This can go, like, over here on, like, the far end of this. Because there is, like, a thinking center thing or whatever. And the staff center is like a thinking center thing. Otherwise, I could put it... Honestly, I don't know. It's fine. Maybe I'll just leave it. Or just move it slightly further down. Get rid of the trees that clip in. Just trying to not clip it into the road, but also not clip it into that building. It's kind of a tight fit, but it should work. Close enough. Close enough. Just don't look too closely at that. Actually, I can do this. We can take this and move it slightly further down. Right, like that. Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Okay, vision for the reptile house. Yeah, I'm not sure how I want to do the reptile house yet. Maybe I should look at the satellite a little bit more. I could try doing like there's like a walkout back as well. Nine pages of reptile. Dimetrodon house? A reptile house style enclosure for your Dimetrodons. Interesting. Let's slap it in there, check it out. Way too much faith in the average American driver not to crash to a building next to a street. I mean, most buildings are next to streets, though. Certainly fine, possible, you know? It might work. Very useful. Very good screenshot. Definitely useful, and I can see what's happening. Oh, that's funny with the cats on top. England Reptile House. That one's decent, too. Here's the question. Are these going to work with the Jeeps? It might. Tiny one on the first page. Oh, we're talking about this? That is an itty bitty one. Yeah, I'm not sure what we would do with this exactly. Could just put it in like the middle of the pathway or something somewhere too. That would kind of work. Let's take a look at these two we just grabbed. Okay, so this looks like an interior and exterior area. So we could like build a viewing gallery into it, potentially, if we did something like that. Maybe I want to put it sideways so that it can fit in here better. Let's clear it out for a second. Let's check the other one. I kind of like this one. It's got a good vibe to it, you know? Okay, if the road extends out like that way. I could just also put another bend in the road if I need to accommodate it better. I like that this has some like decorations and stuff in here already. Do we need deep water for Dimetrodon, right? Okay, we can get deep water in here. Oh, and this is accessible too. Interesting. So the question's going to be, at least partially, how much deep water do we need for like a couple of Dimetrodons or something? I like the vibe of it. We can run the path around the outside too. So that it feels like, because there's like an external walk. Why does it only work if I have the curve be a million goddamn degrees? Why? In water? Oh, that's true. Probably easier to put this in if the water is further back. That's going to cause more problems than the actual fence post. It's probably just the water that caused problems, actually, now that I think about it. I'm probably complaining about what is only the water. Yeah, we could try both Irritator and Dimetrodon and see, like, who fits. Either or neither. I like it. I would like to get a viewing gallery in it. Okay, I can just chuck in viewing gallery straight inside the building. Okay. Sure. Now, I'd like to cut a hole in the wall. Let's include this in the video a little bit. All right, so I grabbed this nice little reptile house exhibit off the workshop. I filled it up with deep water. We're going to try this as either Irritator or Dimetrodon, see if the single Irritator we want for one American alligator or the group of Dimetrodon for the Cuban crocodiles can fit in. In fact, let's look up the Cuban crocodiles. Well, nope, because it's got me verifying my shit. Okay, great. Crocodile. How many? Cuban crocodile. Actually doesn't tell me. Cool. Yeah, no idea how many crocs it is. Maybe I have it written down in my notes, which come from some other places. 6 crocodiles. 4 on display, but split into pairs. Awkward. Okay. Well, anyway, the other thing I want to do here is to demonstrate the awkwardness that is... Oh, cool. Interesting. Why is that in there? Maybe so you can see it from the other side. Well, anyway, oh yeah, because there's like a whole interior thing. But yeah, the awkwardness that is trying to integrate a viewing gallery into another structure, right? So in this case, I just chucked it in here. What did I just delete? I deleted the floor tile. That's probably not the worst idea. So that is the viewing gallery, right? No, that is interior walls. Maybe. Okay. It can be pretty goddamn fiddly to try to integrate actual visibility into these. Something like that. And there's like a glass structures over there. So like maybe I want to okay, first off, I should probably slide this down. Which is always fun. Sure wish I could see through the goddamn fucking dust clouds. Always getting in my way. Alright, so what do we actually see? That is what we see. That's fine, because the goal is to have visibility more than anything. I might want this back even closer to the path if I can swing it, actually. Like, maybe I do it like this, like all the way clipped out. That doesn't look that bad. Like, the banner is a little weird, but, like, the fact that this clips into the roof doesn't even look that, like, impossible. I hate that it does that when I click the movement. I hate that I can't just immediately jump to advance move, that I have to, like, start wiggling it everywhere. What if I do this? That's going to put that way out there on the path, but it's a big arc of path. I feel like that could work. Okay, cool. Yeah. That's actually almost perfect. You can actually see the interior little, like, reptile cave. Shit. I think that's good. Like, we're clearly inside the exhibit, because you can see, like, to the right-hand side this, like, plant, but I think that's fine. Can I like, first-person view inside here? Oh, sick. I can actually see what's happening. Clean. Let's just ignore the fact there's a plant in there, because getting in there to fix that feels like it's impossible. The fact that you can see anything in here is kind of amazing. Random thought occurs to me. Can I put a feeder in there? Because that's kind of amazing if true. Not exactly. Also, if I did get a feeder in here, would I ever be able to have it be restored. Part of it is probably, like, I could put it inside the rock. I wish it was easier to do stuff like this, to, like, get down inside a little cave thing and, like, play around. I could just put it here. It's only relevant if it's Dimetrodon, but still want to try that. I did start digging up Irritator, but I think we should do Dimetrodon first, because the Dimetrodon has a larger population. The Irritator is just a solitary individual. So it'll be a little bit easier to maybe accommodate it. So let's pivot over to Dimetrodon, which is dug up in, what, Texas? Is it only Texas? Red beds or whatever? I think so. Have I seen Pokemon Champions and what it... vaguely. I've seen some of, like, the bugs and problems. I'm not too familiar with everything going on with it. But I've seen some of it. Thank you for the follow, Platty. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new viewing gallery ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Yes. Okay, Kyujaras. So, we've got 3 more eggs. I might as well go ahead and hatch, like, 2 more females. A red and a green, and then a male. Was my other male... Okay, let's do this. Let's release these. Female Gallade, which is a rare Pokemon W. Interesting. I didn't know that. You bought this when it first came out for 60 pounds, played it for 4 days, and dipped. There are certain areas where the game does lag, I will say. This has been discussed to death by me at this point, but... Alright, we have a red female and a green male, so let's try to get a red male. Red male, green male, green male. So red male, another green, and another red. Seems good to me. We'll get them synthing up. So what we got for Kais, how do they feel about their bio? They have no information, because they have not realized they are free yet. There we go. So they're barren, not arid, because this is a distinction. And they do like an occasional tree. A little bit of tree. There you go. 2 whole tree. That's enough. Looks like the Dimorphodons won't breed without me going through the effort. Well, no, it's yellow, not red, so they can breed. I think I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. I'm not going to force anything. Rabies dealt with. Eat my ass. I'm keeping my fossils. Decent selection of Dimetrodons. Gets us to 81%. Throw in a little Tapejara. Go back out into the field and get the rest. And how much Irritator do we have left over? 65% current. No, it can go in the house. Why? Wait, why is the Jeep in here? What's going on inside this, this animal house? Why is the Jeep in here? What are you doing? I like that both my Iguanodons are inside, too. I feel like the Jeep is... Nope, they're not stuck. Interesting. Okay. That was a fun little weird moment, but sure. Found something comical posted on the Discord. Let's take a look. What do we got going on the Discord? Certified Mattel moment. I'll have to watch it later. Not gonna watch it right now. Oh my god, pre-sleep? For Platinum Kaizo? I'll have to read that later too. Okay, we got eggs. Alright, 4 Kai eggs coming. Cool. Cool. 4 Kayuajara babies on the way. Dimetrodon fossils acquired. Genome complete. We'll do that on you. Immediately grab the Irritator as well. Grab a rest. Now, with these Cuban crocodiles, 4 on display. Now, they do say in this article that they breed in, like, the breeding season, which does maybe imply that they have males and females. Let's check some articles. Green and black with yellow speckles. Movement in the nest. Let's check it out in a second. Oh, here we got a name. One of them is named Rose, one of our female Cuban crocodiles. Oh my god. The original plan was to assess Rose's premature egg for overcalcification, fertility, and other concerns. Unfortunately, the egg was swallowed whole by Miguel, Rose's male partner, before keepers could remove it from the enclosure. Swallowing an egg may seem strange, but it's actually normal croc behavior. So Rose and Miguel are 2 of the crocs. Blanche. I got names for 3 of them. Just skimming this other article for another name for a Cuban croc. We have 2 female-male pairings on exhibits. Blanche and Jefe and Rose and Miguel. Nice. Dorothy and Jesus behind the scenes. Okay, we'll put all 4 together if we can. It's egg time. Okay, 2 little green ones, 2 little red ones. Perfect start for these guys being introduced into the proper aviary. Humble social, humble social, humble social, humble social. Good, great. No weird shit with the genes. All expected. Which is great. Kai, Kai. Kai, Kai. And release another wave of 3 more adults.
ever heard of a keystone species? It's one that has a disproportionate impact on.
Have you ever heard of the
compared to
Keystone
other
Species
organisms.
dialogue? It's
You
like
might
one of
read,
3
this
voice
company's
lines he's
Keystone
got.
Species.
It's like one of the few lines he just says over and over again. Dimorphodons, okay. I mean, that's fine, I guess. You can do that if you want Dimorphodons. I'll allow it. All right, 4 Dimetrodons is what we're looking for. These are described as... Okay, let me read the description. Cuban crocodiles have short, broad heads with a bony ridge behind the eyes. Shut up, Dimetrodon. They are green and olive black with the yellow speckles. So, green and olive black. What exactly does that mean? I mean, Yukon, kind of, maybe. And then I could do... Like, this could be interpreted as yellow speckles. Because, like, just looking at the images, I mean, I would just say that they're kind of... Well, that one's maybe good, too. We could mix them up a little bit. We could do, like, this one and this one. They're not so dissimilar. Unless any of these other ones make sense. I don't think so. I think we do this. I think this one's a little too vibrant, maybe. We do like this one and this one. Actually, maybe I like that one more. This one's maybe a little too dark. Maybe we just like this one. Then we do the yellow. And then we do Champlain here, and we do, again, the Calcarana. Sure, why not? Alright, we'll put that onto you and you and you and you. No, you. Yeah. Weird terrain level shit going on here. Yikes. That's really diminished the amount of space I have for deep water there. Let's just try and revert it. Maybe I can go like that height level. Yeah, there we go. Slightly elevated versus the surrounding terrain. Oh God. Right. Alright, it gives us 4. Perfectly fine. I can do an aggressive male. A couple of strong ladies. Sure. I have a feeling the pen's not going to work, but I definitely want to give it a fair shot. And if it doesn't, we try the irritator and we move the Dimetrodons like to a holding pen somewhere. Maybe I literally just make a holding pen now. In case I need it. Alright, these guys are getting moved over. Undiagnosed ailment. What are we doing? Get in there, take care of my guys, please. Thank you. Alright. 40 seconds on dimes. Irritator fossils. It is not yet complete.
Has been collected. Confirming asset delivery.
Okay, Dimetrodons are out, but we have to deal with Salmonella now. So, doing that real quick. 5, 5, 3, and a 2. Fossil check. So that should be it for Irritator and probably Tapajara as well. So that's done. Let's hold off on doing any other animals right now. Dimetrodons. This is almost certainly not going to work. Also cannot actually find a viable corner to deliver animals to. Maybe? Okay, we got 2. We got 2 of them in there. Come on. Okay, we got the third one somewhere. You can do it. Get them in there. Let's just... Okay. Get it moving.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Kayuajara to the park.
Now, it needs to be arid, so I guess we do... Maybe I just do, like, sand in here.
Confirming asset delivery. Ladies and delivery complete.
We are pleased to welcome a Dimetrodon to the park.
Asset delivery confirmed.
Okay. A little bit of cover, a lot of arid.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, you know what? We do have that little quirk of, you know, territories being outside of the area and having that work. The real question is going to be, can we get ranger info on these guys? And can we actually get them happy? So, like, if I just have woodland here... They got their cover. Do a little arid grassland there, I guess. Right like that. Sure. They don't have nearly enough deep water, though. So that's not going to work. Because putting deep water outside of this exhibit's just not going to be a thing, right? That's 1 Dimetrodon. Yeah. Nah, it's not an option. It's not going to work.
It's so easy to forget about the threat of disease when you're staring at giant teeth all day. But it's there, and it's just as scary. Glad we're doing the research to help with that.
All right, we'll just chuck them over here in a holding pen until we can get something that works for them. We'll just kind of forget about it for a little bit. I'm sure nothing bad will happen while I'm forgetting about these guys over here. Hopefully we can make it work with the Irritator.
gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Dimetrodon to the park.
Hopefully just 1 Eerie is like enough to make it work.
Asset has been transported.
Especially with like the bleed over. The deep water is the limiting factor. As long as the deep water works, everything will work.
Delivery has been completed.
So that's getting moved. Kai's in the aviary. We've got to check on. So they need a little bit of arid. They don't have enough arid or barren? Really? Okay. The aviary's getting a little tight, actually. Okay, almost. Very close. Very close to working. What if I tried to put a little bit by the water? Nope. Okay, nobody touch anything. It worked. Okay. So, that's going to be it for Kai's then. How are the Dimorphodons? The Dimorphodons actually also kind of almost at the limit. They're going to run out of water. Alright, let's get these guys moved over. And forgotten about temporarily.
Heading to collect the asset.
And then the aviary situation. So, we have more Dimorphodon juveniles. Let's do... I think we're done breeding pterosaurs. Sorry, can I kill this? Kill this? Oh, being claimed. Well, okay. We're just gonna start clearing these guys out. Okay, well the eggs are there now. Is what it is. Alright, irritator. So this is the American alligator, of which there is one. Do we have a name for the alligator? This is the question. Also, I should name the other guys. Meet the animals. One female alligator named Wally. Why is the female alligator named Wally? I have questions. Maybe they didn't know it was a lady when it was named. Oh, yeah, we should name the dimes when they're on the ground too.
Being transported.
What is going on here? Oh yes, salmonella.
Collected.
Take Dimorphodon 14 because it's the first one I saw. We'll see if we can fit one more in here.
No task.
Wally's going to be kind of green. Maybe.
Delivery has been completed.
Green, dark stripes on the tail? I don't know.
That's in the air.
Ah, you know, with the feeder, I kind of do need, like, the Jeep to be able to get in here. It's gonna be kind of a problem. Oh, God. Also, I hate that the feeder needs... Wait, do they need feeders? Do irritators need feeders? No. That's perfect. Wait, that's actually way better that it doesn't need a feeder, specifically. That's an improvement over using Dimetrodon. Oh my god, seriously? I've already rewilded you!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome
He got rabies while he was unconscious.
Has been completed.
We ran out of water. Okay, well. First I Morphodon, I click on goes. 7 it is. It just falls like a fucking rock. Alright, and all of these guys are gone. Rewild. 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 Alright, one female alligator. Probably... Is that too green, you think? Too much of a vivid green? That one's just kind of yellowish, though. You know what? I'm okay with a more vivid green. I don't mind. Dark stripes? Maybe the black? I think I'm okay with that. It's like a cartoonified version of an alligator, but I think that's fine. Max humility. I'll give him social just for shits and giggles, even though you're alone. Sure. Alright. Clearing up the aviary now. We've got all the babies we can support. For our Dimetrodons, they are in fact happy. Let's name them real quick. Dimetrodon number 1. Where are our Cuban crocodiles? I had the name list. Blanche and Hefe is a pair. Oops. Missed the E. Blanche. Why am I not allowed to switch to one of the other Dimetrodons? There we go. Weird. Hefe. And the other couple is Rose and Miguel. So Miguel... It's canonically Blanche and Hefe are a couple, and Rose and Miguel is a couple. They're actually kept in separate exhibits, so we could do that. We could consider doing 2 separate little Dimetrodon exhibits. Have I ever eaten alligator? No, I'm not. I'm from the Midwest. You're lucky I've seen an alligator.
Transporting asset. Delivery has been completed.
All right. Large appetite thirsty or thirsty aggressive? I guess I'll take the aggressive, given the choice. Just in time for a storm. Fantastic. Well, okay, but this one is not a bad storm. This is a 90%er, not an 80%er. You know, because the pyros, they get mad when they go under 90. But here they're fine. So probably will be less fence damage. I don't think the storm will be that interesting. I'm going to cut it.
Asset transported. Asset has...
gentlemen, we
Yeah, storm passes without any incident. Literally nothing happened. Not a single thing occurred. Completely irrelevant.
Asset being transported. Asset transportation complete. No problem. Confirming task. Transportation underway. Asset transported. No problem. Commencing asset transit. Asset transportation complete.
You've eaten them before, plural. Alright, you're a monster! How dare you, those poor alligators. Come on, somewhere. Somewhere. Does this gator have a name? Yes, right? I just said it, didn't I? What did I say its name was? Oh, Wally, yes. It's literally in chat.
Asset transportation complete. Transporting asset.
Wally.
Delivery has been completed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an
Asset
irritator
transportation
to
in
the park.
progress. Transportation complete. Transportation underway.
Mackenzie.
Ah, the irritator. The first skull of this species was actually modified by collectors before scientists got a chance to look at it.
Collectors.
The scientists then named this dinosaur in recognition of the irritation they felt when they learned the skull had been messed with. The
Close.
irritator by name, not by nature.
Almost works. Ooh, it's so close. Nice. Okay. It got crazy, but it worked. All right. It worked. It's, you gotta ignore kind of the fact that like shit's a little weird. Well, I can't even get that. There we go. Yeah, rocks are floating. It's fine. Just as if you're not in the water, you don't notice, right? The water actually extends like all the way back over here. Can I do a little bit of first person view? Yeah, it's now a nice boggy little spot in here. All right, cool. I mean, it's got a good vibe actually with like the bog and stuff. Can I just walk into the water? Oh, it just sends me along the surface. Fair enough. Well, there she is. One American alligator. The pen only works because the territory does extend beyond it. But we do get kind of this neat little like rock walkway almost. Because I do need some rock outside the pen. So I thought, you know what? It kind of has a vibe, right? I think this is super neat actually. Having this like visible area like with this walkway. I really wish we had viewing paths. It really feels like we should have viewing paths. I just kind of really feel like the lack of those is pretty prominent. Now, she's going to be very hard to actually see from the surface because almost the entire pen is actually deep water. Oh, she lost some somehow? How did you lose some? You were comfortable. Oh, maybe the territory adjusted? Weirdly? Okay, we're fine. We saved it. Everything is good. And your name is, weirdly enough, Wally. We're not going to question it. Wally the Irritator. I mean, that is Gator vibes right there, just hanging out on the water surface. Nice thing as well, this thing doesn't need a feeder, which means the fact that the Jeep can't get in here doesn't matter. The only question is going to be whether or not the Jeep can get the status info from it with the fact that it's like blocked by the pen, which it should be able to. Like, you can definitely do it manually. It's just a matter of if it can do it automatically correctly. So we'll have to see.
Working with Cabot, I'm more
I
wary about
don't-
delegating tasks
I
than
don't
I'd like to be.
care.
However, I trust you with this one. Please don't make me regret that.
Alright, well that's a good start to the reptile house section. So if we can get the Dimetrodons in here in a way that feels somewhat natural with this, then I'm pretty happy with it. Given that we might need a huge ass pen like this, maybe we have to make our own. I'm not too sure. This looks to be clear. There's another thing out of my way. What am I doing? I'm clearing out the water is what I'm doing. Deal with all this weirdness. Maybe put a little smoothness here so the Jeeps can traverse if they need to. And paint over all the grossness that was left behind by the ex-aviary. Cool. Alright. It's like it never existed. So we do have this Dimetrodon building. This is bigger. It might work for like 2 or something. Problem is, it's kind of awkward. It's just a big square. Don't know how I would want to integrate this into the park. I see. Well, you know what? That's one way to deal with it. Just slap down another one. We probably have all the deep water they need. Yeah. I guess the other problem is territory overlap, because Wally here flips out of the bounds, which means that these overlap will probably be hostile to each other.
Request acknowledged.
Right, status check. Alright, it looks like the Jeep can actually status check through the fence, which is perfect. It can even pathfind over there on its own, which is, like, fantastic. Alright, well, I think, let's take a quick peek before we end for today. Okay, why do I have no status info? You know what, it's just gonna, it'll take care of itself. Before we end the video, let's take stock of our birds. We got 4 Kyujara babies and 7 Dimorphodons. So 11 birds in our aviary is all we get. I'm okay with that. It feels like it should be a lot more than that, but 11's all we can fit comfortably. They don't have perfect... They have actually pretty poor territory overlap in terms of their own personal needs. Can I stand on this? Probably not, right? Lame. Given that some of them need trees, some of them need arid, some of them need rock, but it's fine. This aviary is pretty shit, but I'm not going to do anything else with it. This aviary is kind of almost always our shit. Unless you do something very like cave-like or something, but
every effort is made to provide a hospitable habitat.
There's our birds. Wow.
Stable social setting.
Alright, Well, I think that was a pretty productive session, finishing up this stuff, getting a really good start on the reptile sector. I really like this exhibit. I think this is really cool. We actually get to see the irritator out of bounds for once. Yeah, it could just escape. It could just, like, climb over that. Have you ever seen an alligator climb over, like, a chain link fence? I've seen videos of that. There's no way this irritator would stay contained realistically, but that's fine. We don't need to... It doesn't need to be realistic. It's still a very cool looking exhibit. Alright, well, yeah, I think next time we get the rest of the reptile house and then we work on the Lemur Island and go from there. Actually, before we end for today, we can get the research started for Lemur Island, which is going to be the small ceratopsians. Psittacosaurus and Microceratus. Alright, until next time. We're getting close. Let's take stock of how much is left. We've got Lemur Island. And then like whatever we might want to do with the Amazon Trail or whatever. Which is kind of a open question as to whether or not I'm doing anything with it, really. Yeah, Lemur Island and the big cat sections are kind of like the last core parts of the park, in my mind. Where's the map? Oh yeah, we want the Andean bears. .5 stars as it is. Yeah. The base game star rating works pretty okay for a park like this with like relatively limited animal populations. So we could do Amazonia with like Dunkelestes if we wanted, because the Amazonia is mostly fish actually, or we could just skip it. So two theropods for the great cats, 2 ceratopsians for Lemur Island. Get the Dimetrodons into their final home. I think we kind of ignore the America Trail, because that's just like... where is it on this list? Seals, sea lions, otters, beavers, and wolves. Which I think is not going to work well. Look, we could do something with wolf, I guess, but I don't even know what wolf it is. Let's take a look. Not doing very well catering to needs, yeah. For sure. Red Wolf. You know, Red Wolf could be kind of fun because it's more of a reddish look. They have names. 2 red wolves? We could do 2 red wolves. I don't think that was even on my list. We could do Dunk for Amazonia, 2 red wolves for the America Trail. And then that would at least have representation for both of those other trails. Which should be like back in here, basically. We're also very much butting up against the boundary at this point. But I think we can fit everything we need to fit in here. Because like this is where the big cats go. And that's kind of the bottom of the park. Nothing is further south than like the big cats. So the big cats go where the dimes are. And then we have a path that loops over here, and we sneak in Amazonia and the wolves, and then maybe it works. What could be red? What could be a red wolf? I don't hate the idea of like Deinonychus or something. Like wolves are associated with packs, raptors are associated with packs. That could work. 2 Deinonychus for red wolf. Even like Velociraptor or something. Guanlong? Maybe we need to take a look at who has, like, a better red skin. I feel like there's got to be a different place Guanlong's really good. But I'm not sure. Our Troodons were our clouded leopards, right? So if we're doing cats, is the Guanlong's in a weird spot. It's really hard to decide what this should be. Maybe somebody that has like a noticeable like dimorphic colorization in the neck would be a good animal for Guanlong. I'm kind of feeling Deinonychus. Utahraptor is kind of maybe like a good grizzly bear or something. If we ever do this again and we have a different kind of park. Like maybe Guanlong is just a good like proper leopard or something. I don't know. Well, the wolf is probably going to be one of the last things we put in, so we can worry about it later. It's not terribly important. Oh yeah, and the bears. So we'll have the bears. We'll have Dunk, the bear, the wolf, the two in Lemur Island, the Dimetrodons, and then the two big cats. That's everything we'll put in. We'll skip the prairie dogs. I wanted something that kind of matched the vibe of Cryolophosaurus, though. What was I even thinking about using? Ceratosaurus because of the stripes. Because there's a pretty nice stripy Cerato for tiger. Tiger stripe raptors are definitely an option too. They're literally tiger striped. They might work better spatially than Cerato. But also the like 3 cryos is going to take up a lot of space, so I kind of want it 50-50 balance spatially. Let's get a save. Then let's go to a random sandbox and spawn a few animals and take a look at them, maybe. Let's get a thumbnail. I think the Erie is probably optimal. Can you not be inside of a lily pad? That'd be really cool. Do you think you could move for me? No? Are you sure? Kind of like this one with like the lily pads like right there. Even though it is clipped into that one pad. Ooh, what if we put the little, like, house in the background? Do I like that? Name up here. I can see it. I can see the vision. Alright. Let's do one of these. Do I have baby test? Let's just do this. Alright, sandbox settings, gameplay, off, off, off. Sure. If we're using Cryolophosaurus as our lions, they're going to be, I don't know, something like the most yellow one. I don't need to worry about the exact. Actually, this one looks more properly yellow. I don't know why I'm bothering with getting the exact skin. It doesn't matter. All right. Then Ceratosaurus. Which one was the most... I guess that one's very red in the face. I feel like one of these was more tiger stripey, but maybe it's the male? Kinda, but no. Yeah, these don't really give a very strong tiger vibe in this game, do they? Yeah, the pattern color markers are maybe not exactly the best. I could also just completely forsake Cryolophosaurus. It's not even like it's new anymore, right? Like, I wanted to use Cryo because it was the brand new thing when I started the park, but I started the park like 6 weeks ago. It's kind of over and done with. I could just do 2 more raptors. Yeah, we could look at like Utah Raptor as a lion. I mean, they got like a thick neck. It'd be nicer if there had some coloring that evoked like lion manes a little bit more. I could do something like that for a little bit darker head. Yeah, we still haven't used cryo in a park. That's definitely true.
Commencing synthesis procedure.
And if we use like raptors as big cats or bears, this would also work for like another like leopard or panther type. Well, more of a leopard vibe. Not panther, yeah, leopard. And there's enough raptors that we'd have a decent spread of them too. I guess the other consideration is Guanlong. None of these really evoke a lion or anything. Not that I really expected them to, mind you.
Synthesis procedure complete.
Oops, hatch an extra one. We'll just grab some basic pairs to just compare some vibes. No, I want to do sandbox settings, make sure combat is turned off. Unlimited lifespan, combat frequency, no.
Incubation complete. Prepare asset for release.
I'm definitely kind of feeling the idea of doing the tiger raptors as tigers. I mean, like, these ain't bad, but they ain't quite it.
Many natural systems fall into some sort of hierarchy, and dinosaur behavior is no different. The alpha should be easy enough to identify from observation alone.
Prepare asset for release.
Yeah, I think the Guanlongs feel too big for clouded leopards. I think I'm still on Team Troodon for clouded leopards. These are pretty close to raptor size. Cryo and raptor, that's not too bad of a size difference, especially given that they're smaller tigers. I don't hate it. The Ceratos definitely feel too big comparatively. I definitely don't think I want to use the Ceratos. They're just too large in this game. I could see the Cryos and the Velociraptors. The question then becomes, maybe what is the red wolf? I mean, there's a decent reddish option for Deinonychus. I don't know, just kind of doing some blank Deinonychus. Cryo and Utah, they feel about equivalent. Yeah. But Utah's color palettes don't really lend itself to being a tiger. In my mind, the competitors for tigers are Velociraptor and Stratosaurus. Because this doesn't ever feel tigery. I mean, I guess this is striped. They don't really feel particularly orange ever. I think I like the idea of the Tiger Raptors currently. There ain't no white tigers in this zoo. Deinonychus would be appropriately small, too. Inaccurate. Don't really have a good use for conch. I mean, the only other thing I could see would be like Velociraptor and Utahraptor, and use Utahraptor as a lion. That I could see. But then we're like really heavy on raptors, and like we don't use cryo at all in that case. I like the coloring, I think, is pretty good for like lion vibes. It's got like that kind of correct kind of rusty, like yellowish color. Yeah, conch could be a larger bear. Conch could be grizzly bear, actually. That kind of matches with the other piscivores vibes wise. I think I like the idea of conch as like a grizzly bear or something. I think you're cooking. Honestly, Utahraptor feels like it's got a little bit of weight on the cryo. The cryo feels a little more lankier. But pretty similar. I think I'm going to do cryo and Tiger Raptor. I think I feel it. Deinonychus is Red Wolf. Alright. Well, I think I've seen all I need to see here. I don't know if there's anything else that was worth looking at in the hatchery for this. Does leave us with no use for Guanlong, but it is what it is. Alright, well, I'm going to wrap the stream up then. Weird, but they are lion-like. Yeah, I don't hate the Utahraptor as lion. I mean, I could be convinced. I think it is interesting that the male has like a mane almost with the thicker neck. It does kind of evoke lion, you know. Good think about it. Do we... Let's look at one more thing. If we go here and we go to this, we go to this. It doesn't give me a number for area anywhere. Annoying. How do you always find out I'm streaming as soon as you have to go to bed? I don't know. Notifications are weird, man. We always stream on the same day. You just kind of got to maybe keep an eye on it. I don't know what to tell you, man. But thanks for stopping by, Biocraft. Yeah, I just don't want to do something that big. I do think Aloe and Tyranno make a good, like, lion-tiger pair. I agree with that. If we were doing, like, large-scaled animals. Even, like, this one even has some, like, striping to evoke it a little bit. But since we're keeping everything very small, I really don't want to do that. Otherwise, yeah, if we were doing larger animals, I'd be okay with this. Does this ever... The splotches are disgusting. Yeah, and he never has black stripes on the face. Eh. Patterns just suck. Patterns are just awful. Also, why is this the male? I mean, at least he's got some tail striping that's kind of okay, but like... There's like no vibe to these skins. They just kind of exist. What? Honestly, I'd probably still end up using this guy because I just like this one better. I mean, that's technically some stripes. Anyway, that's not what we're going to do. Yeah, I was hoping we could find an actual number for the territory size and compare, but it just says low area need. And Utah Raptor is low also, so I don't know. Area growth plus 33, the other one was like plus 40, they're like the same effectively. It's not that different. Well, anyway, I'm going to wrap the stream up. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for coming on by. Good progress at the park. We're definitely getting close. Maybe 2 weeks to finish still. Probably. Especially if we put in, you know, Dunk and Red Wolves and all that other stuff. But it's almost done. And it's looking